Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of NASCAR Underdogs, Bobby Hillin Jr. Hillin is a former NASCAR Cup Series and Xfinity Series driver. He competed from 1982 through 2009 across the top two series in NASCAR. This video covers his entire career year by year. At age 13, Bobby started racing at the Odessa Speed Bowl in Odessa, Texas, even winning the track championship. Hillin made his NASCAR Cup Series debut at the age of 17 in a race car owned and sponsored by his family. Harry Hyde served as his crew chief. In 1982, at North Wilkesboro, finishing 21st place. He was behind the wheel of a number 8 Buick, and he made 4 other starts with a best finish of 16th at Michigan in the summer, all at the age of 17 and 18 years old. Hillin Racing returned for the 1983 NASCAR Cup Series season. He attempted the Daytona 500 but DNQ'd, and also DNQ'd at Darlington in the spring. 14 races out of the 29, but only qualified for 12 of them. The team landed a sponsor for the second half of the season with Top Rock Industries. His best start was 21st twice at North Wilkesboro in the spring and then at Dover in the fall. His best finish was 11th twice at Charlotte in the spring and then at Dover in the fall. He did DNQ twice, however, for Hillin Racing. Then he also attempted the season finale at Riverside, driving the number 6 for DK Ulrich, but he DNQ'd for that race also, though he did get some needed experience. He graduated high school the day before the Coca-Cola 600 earlier that season. At the age of 20, Bobby Hillin Jr. joined the Stavola Brothers racing team, though he returned to his number 8 Top Rock Industries ride. It just basically changed owners. Suitcase Jake Elder served as crew chief for the entire 16-race schedule that the team had scheduled. His best start was 11th at Atlanta in the fall. His best finish was 11th at Talladega in the spring. They did DNQ for Dover in the fall. Hillin returned to the Stavola Brothers racing team in their number 8 Tap Rock Industries Chevrolet full-time in 1985. His best start was 7th at Talladega in the spring, and his best finish was 8th at Martinsville in the fall. Overall, he scored 0 poles, 0 wins, 0 top 5s, and 5 top 10s, finishing 15th the final point standings. For the 1986 NASCAR Cup Series season, Hillin's team that he was driving for, the Stavola Brothers, expanded the team to 2 cars. The 1983 Cup Series champion and leader of the Alabama gang, Bobby Allison, became his teammate, bringing the Miller American sponsorship with him. Hillin was behind the wheel of the number 8 Miller American Buick, with Ron Poirier serving as the number 8 team's crew chief. His best start was 4th at Richmond in the spring, and his best finish was 1st in the summer at Talladega. It was his first and would end up being his only NASCAR Cup Series victory. Overall, he scored 0 poles, 1 win, 4 top 5s, and 14 top 10 finishes, finishing 9th in final Cup Series points. This also would end up being the highest he would ever finish in Cup Series point standings. Hillin made his Xfinity Series debut in the fall at Charlotte, driving a number 92 All-Pro Auto Parts Buick for Ted Condor, starting 26th and finishing 38th. In 1987, Bobby Hillin returned to the Stavola Brothers Racing number 8 Miller American Buick full-time once again. Now, the team's performance fell off significantly in '87. His best start was 5th at Martinsville in the fall, and his best finish was 5th at Talladega in the spring. Overall, he scored no poles, no wins, 1 top 5, and 4 top 10s, finishing 19th in final Cup Series points. Once again, Hillin would return to the number 8 Miller High Life Buick for the Stavola Brothers racing team for the 3rd season in a row. Hillin got a new crew chief in Bill Woodruff. His best start was 7th at Talladega in the spring, and his best finish was 3rd at Martinsville in the spring. Overall, he scored 0 poles, 0 wins, 1 top 5, and 7 top 10s, finishing 12th in final point standings. His teammate, Bobby Allison, in a near-fatal, career-ending accident at Pocono in 1988, had Mike Alexander finish the season, filling in for him. Then over on the Xfinity Series side, Hillin made 16 starts in the number 81 Windmere Buick, owned by Ted Conder. His best start was 2nd, 3 times, at Daytona and Charlotte in the spring, then in the fall at Rockingham. His best finish was 1st at Dover in the spring. This was Hillin's first career Xfinity Series victory. Overall, in 16 starts, he scored 0 poles, 1 win, 6 top 5s, and 9 top 10s. Harry Hyde returned as Bobby Hillin's crew chief for the 1989 NASCAR Cup Series season. Hyde was Hillin's first Cup Series crew chief back in 1982. Hillin was behind the wheel of the number 8 Miller High Life Buick. His best start was 9th at Watkins Glen in the summer, and his best finish was 5th, also at Watkins Glen in the summer. He did D&Q for the North Wilkesboro race in the spring. Overall, he scored 0 poles, 0 wins, 1 top 5, and 7 top 10s, finishing 16th in final points. Once again, Bobby Hillin made 14 Xfinity Series starts, again driving a number 81 Rose's Stores Buick, again owned by Ted Conder. His best start was 2nd at Nazareth in the spring, and his best finish was 1st, also at Nazareth in the spring. Overall, he scored 0 poles, 1 win, 1 top 5, and 4 top 10s. A new decade, the 1990s, but Bobby Hillin remained with the same number 8 Snickers Buick, owned by Stavola Brothers team. His best start was 10th at Daytona in the spring, and his best finish was 5th in the spring at Sonoma. Overall, he scored 0 poles, 0 wins, 1 top 5, and 4 top 10s, finishing 19th in final point standings. Bobby only made 3 Xfinity Series starts, 2 in the number 42 Spitfire Pontiac, and 1 in the number 81 Spitfire Pontiac. His best start was 13th, and his best finish was 4th, both coming at Darlington in the fall. In 3 starts, he scored 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s. At the end of the 1990 season, Hillin and the Stavolas parted ways. The 1991 NASCAR Cup Series season began with Bobby Hillin not having a full-time ride. At Daytona in the spring, Hillin was able to post up the fastest speed in 3rd round qualifying, locking him into the show for the 1991 Daytona 500, putting him on the starting grid 36th, driving a Dick Moroso number 27 Oldsmobile. This was basically a backup car for Dick Moroso's, lead car for number 20. Now, he started 36th, but finished a surprising 7th. Due to that excellent run, Dick Moroso put him in the team's lead car, the number 20 Oldsmobile. They ran reasonable, but couldn't land any permanent sponsorship, so Moroso Racing's team decided to cut back to part-time, and Hillin left the team. In the number 20, his best start was 11th at Martinsville in the spring, and his best finish was 15th at Bristol in the spring. Next, Bobby made 2 starts for Jimmy Means Racing in their number 52 Alka-Seltzer Pontiac. His best start was 30th, and his best finish was 19th, both coming at Dover in the spring. Then Hillin got the call to be Kyle Petty's fill-in driver when Kyle Petty broke his leg at Talladega. His best start was 14th at Pocono in the summer, and his best finish was 11th at Talladega in the summer. Late in the 91 season, he joined Team Ireland, driving a number 53 Longhorn Stake Chevrolet, making 2 starts. His best start was 21st in Atlanta in the fall, and his best finish was 18th in Michigan in the fall. Overall, in 22 starts, he scored 1 top 10, finishing 30th in final points. For the 1992 NASCAR Cup Series season, he made 11 starts for Team Ireland in their number 31 Chevrolet. His best start was 5th at Michigan in the spring, and his best finish was 13th in the spring at Charlotte. He made 1 start for Kelly Yarborough Motorsports in their number 66 Tripartite Ford at North Wilkesboro, starting 32nd and finishing 25th. And at the season finale, Hillin started driving for Junior Dunleavy in his number 90 Wrangler Ford in Atlanta, starting 31st and finishing 30th. Now, Bobby Hillin also had an awesome run at Talladega in the summer, though you won't find it in the record books due to the fact that he took over for Davey Allison. Allison took the green flag, so his name is in the record books. But he was injured. So he came in, climbed out, and Hillin climbed in the driver's seat. And honestly, Hillin almost took that number 28 Texaco Haviland Ford to victory lane, but fell short, finishing the race in 3rd under Davey Allison's name, keeping Davey Allison right up there in the championship fight. He made 2 more Xfinity Series starts, one for Dennis Shoemaker in his number 64 Pontiac, and one in Davey Allison's number 28 Haviland Ford at Charlotte in the fall. His best start was 24th at Charlotte, and his best finish was 20th at Loudon. After not having a full-time ride for the past couple seasons, Hillin landed a full-time ride with Junie Dunleavy in his number 90 Highland Myers Ford. His best start was 9th in the spring at Daytona, and his best finish was 11th at Michigan in the summer. Overall, he scored 13 top 20 finishes, finishing 27th final point standings. Bobby Hillin made 1 Xfinity Series start, driving for himself in a number 95 Greased Lightning Ford at Charlotte in the fall, starting 43rd and finishing 40th. Hillin ran the first 3 races of the 1994 NASCAR Cup Series season, driving the number 90 Ford Junie Dunleavy, before resigning from the team. In those 3 starts, his best start was 18th at Rockingham, then his best finish was 24th at Daytona in the spring. Later in the season, he made 4 starts for Charles Hardy in the number 44 Bus Fuses Ford. Tony Gibson served as crew chief for Hillin on the number 44 team. His best start was 26th in the spring at Michigan, and his best finish was 15th at Charlotte in the fall. Then he made 2 starts for Dick Moroso in the number 20 Phenolube Ford. His best start was 32nd twice at Talladega in the summer and Atlanta in the fall. Hillin made 3 Xfinity Series starts as well in the number 99 Luxair Heating and Air Conditioning Chevrolet, owned by Bill Pampke. His best start was 5th at Charlotte in the fall, and his best finish was 7th at Dover in the fall. In 3 starts, he scored 1 top 10 finish. In 1995, Hillin began the season attempting the first two crown jewel events of the season, the Daytona 500 and the Coca-Cola 600, DNQing for both of them. Davy Jones had began the season with the number 77 Jasper U.S. Air Ford team, trying to run for Rookie of the Year honors. But unfortunately, he got off to a horrible start, and by race 12, he was replaced by Bobby Hillin Jr. In 18 starts in that number 77, Hillin's best start was 14th at Michigan in the spring, and his best finish was 9th in Atlanta in the fall. Overall, he scored one top 10 finish, finishing 37th in final points. He made 7 Xfinity Series starts behind the wheel of the number 20 Fina Loop Ford owned by Dick Moroso. His best start was 14th in Atlanta in the spring, and his best finish was 8th at Darlington in the spring. Overall, in 7 starts, he scored one top 10 finish. That following season, in 1996, Hillin was signed to drive the number 77 Jasper Engines Federal Mogul Ford. He DNQ'd 6 times, including the fall Bristol race, which Hillin filled in for an injured Bill Elliott in the number 94 McDonald's Ford, starting 39th and finishing 22nd. His best start was 5th at Indy in the summer, and his best finish was 12th at Dover in the fall. He finished 37th final points. For 1997, Hillin remained with the number 77 Jasper Engines Ford team until the end of race 13 at Pocono. Of those first 13 races, he DNQ'd 3 of them. His best start was 2nd in Talladega in the spring. His best finish was 20th, also at Talladega in the spring. After losing the number 77 ride, now, for the 1998 NASCAR Xfinity Series season, Hillin restarted his own Xfinity Series team, the number 8 Clean Shower Chevrolet team, this time including 5 Major League Baseball players as part team owners. His best start was 3rd, and his best finish was 2nd, both coming in the spring at Dover. Unfortunately, he did DNQ 5 times that season also. In 23 starts, he scored 0 poles, 0 wins, 1 top 5, and 5 top 10s, finishing 24th in the final point standings. Hillin returned with his number 8 Clean Shower Chevrolet team full-time in the Xfinity Series in 1999. His best start was 7th at Richmond in the spring, and his best finish was 5th at Daytona in the spring. Again, though, he did DNQ 4 times. Overall, he scored 0 poles, 0 wins, 1 top 5, and 2 top 10s, finishing 19th in final point standings. That final season, the Hillin had his Xfinity Series team up and running. The number 8 Kleenex Chevrolet, he DNQ'd 8 times. He qualified for 14 races. His best start was 7th at Nashville in the spring, and his best finish was 9th at South Boston in the summer. Lake Speed was serving as crew chief for him that race. Just a fun fact. He made his final NASCAR Cup Series start, driving for Melling Racing's number 9 Kodiak and Cougar Ford at Bristol in the fall. He started 21st and finished 40th. Following the 2000 NASCAR season, Hillin went into somewhat of a semi-retirement from racing, basically going back and working within the family business in Texas. Then, in 2008, Hillin returned to the Xfinity Series, making 1 start at Kansas Speedway, driving a number 81 Dodge from McDonald's Motorsports. That following season, Hillin made his final career start. What would end up being his final career start. Again, driving for McDonald Motorsports in their number 81 Dodge. But this time at Texas in the fall. And this time, instead of finishing 36th, he finished 23rd. Now, across the board in NASCAR, Bobby Hillin Jr. drove for 23 different race teams. Overall, in 334 NASCAR Cup Series starts, scoring 0 poles, 1 win, 8 top 5s, and 43 top 10 finishes, with a best points finish of 9th in 1986, driving the number 8 for the Stavola Brothers. In 115 Xfinity Series starts, he scored 0 poles, 2 wins, 10 top 5s, and 25 top 10 finishes, with the best point finish of 19th, while driving for himself in his own number 8 in 1999. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.